I will live for you, cause I love the way you do.
Hi to you all, how are you all doing? Hope you all are doing fine. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mara Favor Lucky, yeah. And to all the God's favorite, thanks for your love, thanks for your support. I can't take that for granted. And to you that is watching me for the first time, what are you waiting for? Please click that red button that says subscribe, turn on your notification bell, like my video, share and comment so that we can move this ministry to the next level. Yeah. So today it's not only Mara Favor Lucky, we have the kwilikwili crew. Yes. So I'll be introducing them one after the other. Mr. Dennis, aka Ube, yeah. And we have Mr. Daniel, aka DJ Tino, yeah. And we have Mr. John, aka the kwilikwili Master, yeah. And again we have our Oga Pata Mr. Peter, so aka the Prince of Comedy. Thank you all for coming into the show today, and with you guys I know we're moving this ministry to the next level, yeah guys. So make sure you watch this video to the end because you have a lot of things to gain. So we'll be kicking right into the title of today's show, yeah, because it's not a video, it's gonna be a show. It's gonna be a talk show, yeah. So as you can see the title below your screen there, so we'll be talking about relationship, why relationships are going wrong. So I would just like to start by letting you know that relationship is something of two people. So we are going to be hearing from the married set of people and the single set of people. Now I'll be asking the first question to our married set of people, and we want to know exactly. The first question goes this way: what is relationship to you, Mr. Daniel, as a married man?
Thank you, Mrs. Favor Lucky, Amara. It's an honor for me to be here today. I'm so glad for coming into this show. The question was, what is relationship? Relationship is a union between two, female and male. But don't get it twisted, because sometimes now we have lesbianism and we have gay. You know, it's also a union, it's a relationship. And I have an evidence that is representing me. Before I don't used to wear this, now I'm wearing this, so I'm fully in relationship. Thank you.
Mr. Daniel and Dennis, is there any perfect relationship?
To my own point of view, looking at it from a marital perspective, there is no perfect relationship. I believe the only perfect relationship we have is the one we have with our Lord Jesus Christ. The rest, you have your own parts which you are not good, I have my own part which I am not good. But what matters is the understanding between the two couples. The things that flow, the way you create your relationship matters a lot. For me, like I said before, there is no perfect relationship, but do your best and leave the rest for God. Thank you.
So as you guys heard what our brother Mr. Dennis answered in that question, there is no perfect relationship, as I said. The two of you has to work it out so that it will be perfect in your own way. Now we'll be asking Mr. Daniel another question, and I would like him to answer this question. What are the qualities of wife materials and husband material? What are the things or the qualities you will see in a woman or in a man and you say this one is a wife material or this one is a husband material?
Thank you very much for that question. I think it's an interesting one. How to be or for you to know your wife material or your husband material. Now, first of all, it has something to do with maturity. You understand? Because no matter what it takes, when you are viewing someone, you need to know what you are going there for. If someone you want to spend the rest of your life with or not. So you pray definitely that God should help you to have the chosen one in your life. You know, we say marriage is for better and for worse. When you enter, no going back. So you need to really concentrate in between yourself to know where you are going. You seek for favor, grace, to have the best that you want. Now, I can chip it in a little way. Sometimes we men in brackets, we used to watch the appearance. We see the backyard. So we see the front yard. Then we say, this one, if I just say I'm 9, my life will be okay. Whereas we need to look after the interior, not just what we are seeing. Let's leave the aesthetic. We need to look the inside before we now know how we're going to. But how will you know? A question. How will you know? Is that relationship? You need to build it gradually. It's a gradual process. When you talk to a woman, you talk to a man, you like to know what he or she likes, all those stuff. You are building it. Then from there, you will now score. This is what I want. Are you getting it? So something like this has favored me. So you can also try it and see what you can do. Thank you, viewers.
So now I just want to ask another question to our single men, especially to Mr. John. So I want to ask you this question. Yes, because it's also necessary to know your opinion in this. There is one word we call testing, in quotes. So I just want to hear his point of view. Is it okay to test before thinking of mingling? That's tying the knot with someone. Is it okay to test? That is to find out. You know what I mean by testing, guys? Yeah.
So if we put it on a platform on the scripture, it's not for a single guy to have to test a lady before going to marriage with her or going to relationship with her, because it's wrong on the daughter of Christ.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. John, for that answer. But I have to still say one or two things in this. Please, if you're a child of God, be yourself. Yes, there is an adage or something. Let me just use it because our people do say it, that this is a parcel. You have to open it yourself. But if you pray and believe in God as a child of God, God will give you your own. But I will not hesitate to ask one of the married men in the house, yes, Mr. Dennis, what is your opinion or what is your point of view in the answer of Mr. John? Is testing okay?
From a Christian background, even the Bible goes against it. When you decide to test before you get into marriage, that is called fornication. And as a Christian, it is not good. You have sinned against God. But nevertheless, if you know that thing you have, you want to test, or you want to get the taste of that thing, you have to quicken up and get married to that person, so that whenever you are doing it, nobody will see it as a wrong thing. That is the normal way of life. You need, because many of us nowadays, especially the young ones now, the youth now, they say, no, there is time. I don't want to get married now. I don't want to be tied up. No, you are not tying yourself up, but instead, You are trying to live a life, a normal life, a life of a maturity. That is what marriage is all about. So you need to go out of that your hole and say you want to test from one place to another and focus on one person. Cleave yourself to that one particular person that your heart follows, and together you work things out and you will live a happy life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dennis, for the answer to that question. And now I want to ask Mr. Peter, as a single man, why are relationships going wrong these days, especially during the time of courtship? Thank you.
Thank you. From my own point of view, I would say the reason why relationships are going wrong today is imperfection and lack of trust. You know, what you tell somebody when you are going into toasting or approaching the girl, then getting into the relationship along the line, all the things she told you is not what you are seeing. That's the reason why many relationships are going wrong. That is number one. Number two is, you know, you don't have nothing and you pretend you have something. You say that your father is this and your father is not. Even to the men, I mean, the kinds like me, if I'm approaching a woman and I see that she don't want to answer me, I put more effort by lying, telling all sorts of things to get her to my bed. Then when I do, I bring myself, I mean my real self, and she don't like it. But these are one of the things that fail relationship today. But the most thing is lack of trust and unworthiness. So this is my own little point of view, so that I won't take so much of your time. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Mr. Peter for the question you answered. And now I want to be directing this question to the married men. Yes, what is making relationship these days to go wrong? I want you to tell us, as you were previously a single man and now presently you're a married man. Tell us how you can relate it in the two ways. As a man that courted for years before you got married, and now you are married. So what makes it to go wrong in a nutshell? Thank you.
The question is funny based on the generation we are living now. We have digital things. You know, sometimes progress increases and decreases. Sometimes now our eyes are opened now. When you are in relationship, when you go into a relationship, sometimes you don't know what you are going to live. Uniting together makes you understand the duties you're supposed to take, and when you are failing on those duties, from there misunderstanding will be relating gradually. Now, to break it down more and more, before my wife, I used to give her a token. Do your hair, nice up, you know, try to beautify her. But growing, I start stepping down. It can be one of, you know, reason for her to say, no, you used to do this, you used to do that. But some people will say, just because it's not giving you money anymore, it's funny. It's a reason. We human beings, we have the same body, but we don't have the same mind. What pleases you will not please me. So that is one of the reasons. Temptation can bring down a relationship. So please be careful the step you make. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Daniel for the answer to that question. Yes, you said it all, so I will not waste time in going into that again. So the next question that I will be asking Mr. Dennis is, what are the things you should do as a single person? Because he was single but now he's married. What are the things you should do in preparation for this mingleness, or for the togetherness, or for the marriage? So I want you to tell us, what are the things, both in the female aspect and the male aspect, what are the things we should get prepared or we should do before entering into this marriage? Thank you.
the things you should do while preparing for marriage. Now, as a man, before you should start planning of getting married, at least you should check yourself first of all. Am I ready? Do I have a work or something that I'm doing now that can fetch me, that can sustain me and my wife? Because if you get married, you are no more thinking of yourself alone.
To build up a family.
You are thinking of the both side. And when you both now have children, you start thinking of more than two. So, first of all, as a man, if you don't have a good job, you don't even just relax on marriage. Have patience. There is time. Look for work first. After getting your work, plan. The planning means definitely where you are going to stay. Because as a bachelor, you are staying on your own. One room apartment, and you can afford it because you live a single life. But when you are double, definitely you start planning for two before you can plan for house, the rent, and how to pay all those bills.
Yes.
Understand? So you need to first of all check yourself. Am I ready? Do I have what it takes to get married? To involve and to maintain it? Very, very important.
Because before you used to think you were selfish. You think about only yourself.
That is single. That is single.
And now you need to
yes,
think of this and that.
And one major thing, I'm talking about the women now. Please, I want you to have. Don't just say I'm looking for a man, a good man, and all that. And whereas you yourself, you are not even good. You don't have good characters. You can't even cook for yourself, and you are expecting to have a good man. God blesses us with what we have ourselves. So that when you marry, you say, both of you look alike. Oh, it's because of what you can do. Don't expect that you cannot cook. You say, I want a man that can cook, a man that will just cook for me while I'm sleeping. No, you have to feed yourself.
The man will be your wife.
Can you imagine? So, please, as a woman, you have to try to learn how to behave yourself. Character-wise matters a lot. And the same food is a way to a man's heart. Please, that is all I can tell you. Thank you very much, viewers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. In fact, you killed this question. Yes, you need to really get prepared in many ways. Both as a Christian, you need to pray, learn how to organize yourself, because you're not going to pray alone for yourself alone. You're going to pray for your family. Every night you need to wake up to also anoint your family. As a woman, I'm talking from the woman perspective. You need to learn all those things. You need to be a good mother. It's not just for you to go there to get the companionship you need in marriage, but there are a lot of responsibilities you need to carry out as a married woman. So you have to get this in mind and know that you shouldn't be a liability to a man. You should also get something doing before you get into marriage. Make sure you find yourself doing anything that will fetch you some money. You shouldn't only rely on a man. Even though you don't have a job, find a handwork that can help you. Even though it's €5, €2, €5, £2, whatever it is that can generate money to assist your husband is very, very important. Always learn to pray as you are preparing to mingle, because there are a lot of challenges that will be coming and you need to tolerate. So just have this in mind that if you don't prepare spiritually, you will not be strong enough to accommodate all that will be around you, because your husband's family is now your family is there. There might be clashes, but if you have prepared yourself, having this in mind that I'm going into something that is not only me now, I have to be selfless to make sure I accommodate that. So have this in mind that you need to have that accommodating spirit, that you not have issues with your in-laws. So these are very, very important. Thank you. And there are more things that you should still know before getting into marriage. So now I want us to enter into this last question before we get advice from our men on the show. So one of the things I would like to ask, or the last question I would like to ask, is what are Igbo's take in domestic violence as both the single and the are married. I want to hear your point of view because these are the demanding matter on ground in this our generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Listen, for the question which you asked, and I'm going to answer you straight to the question. You see, domestic violence is everywhere, either in Africa, Europe, Asian, or name it, any continent of your choice. So the question here, I will go straight to it. Listen, domestic violence is something I cannot really say the cause of it, but I would say it's lack of understanding. Even in married and unmarried people, we see domestic violence. Back in the days when we grew up from Africa, I hardly see my parents fight. Maybe they do fight each other, but I don't know. But whenever I see my mom sleeping in our room, then I know that something is wrong. So, but they never fight in our presence so that they will not corrupt the children. So now, being a single man, no, let me not say I'm a single man. I'm into a relationship, but not married. So sometimes I do have misunderstanding with my girlfriend, and I really feel like to hit her. But from where I come from, and I was not brought up that way, so I decided not to hit her. You see, but there are some certain people who say, like I was hearing from my friends who say, I can never date a guy who doesn't beat me. Beating is part of the fun in a relationship, but it is not good. So let me just say, beating is out of it. So let's
wait. Let me tell you something. You know, that violence is no-go area.
Yeah, it's a no-go area.
Don't think of it.
It's a no-go area.
It's not allowed.
So that's my
not
point
just-
of
And that is why, as a married or as a single, you need to build your relationship spiritually.
Thank you.
When you build it spiritually, all these
Prayer.
things, you will not see them.
But sometimes, maybe the lady might get you angry. You might take something, maybe you are drinking or do anything. You
Be spiritually active.
You
are
spiritually
spiritually
active.
active.
You know, you leave the house,
My brothers,
Let's not argue over this.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Okay, we don't have to misunderstand everything. Now, it's not law or it's not something that, let me say, generally in constitution, you don't beat, or even the woman is not in right position to hit a man. Attention.
Yeah,
you understand?
that's what's
It.
up.
Thank you. So now it's a general stuff. Be careful to cool your temper. Tolerate your partner.
Tolerance.
Whatever it may be, have that thing in mind. It's not allowed.
But
It's not allowed. In Christian way, in normal community way, by law, national law, whatever.
yeah, I understand.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
Don't go there.
But I understand in my own opinion. Sometimes you might think that you won't hit a woman, you won't do anything. But there is something that woman will do to you. You won't know when you throw hand.
You are right. But that one doesn't give you the opportunity. That is an excuse. Because you did that, so I will like no. Cool your temper.
Generally, domestic
That's what I
violence
think.
is
That's what I think.
It's strong. So
That's what
the
I
thing
think.
we are going to do is that there will be never anything like domestic violence. So we need to
My brothers in the Lord, I greet you all. I'm really happy for this program. In fact, I must thank you, Mrs. Lucky. You have really done well. You know, all these things we are saying, it all comes down to one particular thing.
Yes.
Which is when you take God first, every other thing becomes arranged in your life. You understand? You see, they say two captains cannot rule a ship.
No, that is true.
You as a woman, you have hot temper.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, you have hot temper. How do you expect to manage that relationship? So one big good thing you should do,
Check yourself.
know where you are going wrong and come back again, and you will see that everything will be perfect.
And I even allow God to rule your family.
That is the reason why I say you have to be in spirit.
Yes.
You pray after.
Before
Yes.
anything, God first. He said, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing.
Shall be added.
That is just it. So, my brothers and sisters out there, I hope you people understand what we are trying to say and advise you of. So please, wherever you are going wrong, Maybe most of you might be going through difficulties in your relationship, in your marriage, or whatever. But please, through this program, go home, think about it, know where you are going wrong, know how to set your marriage or your relationship forward in a better position, and don't forget, God first. Thank you.
You say the right thing. For if we let's go on Bible verse, let's go on the scripture. First of all, you might before you go into relationship or under this domestic stuff, you look for a woman, a lady that have the fear of God or have the fear of Christ. Because once you have the fear of Christ, through any circumstances, you can able to like resolve anything. But when you are not, maybe she's not in Christ, or the domestic violence will come with that.
You are allowed temptation.
Yeah, it will come.
It's true, isn't it?
But my advice for you, if you can't do like that, when your wife, maybe she do anything that will push you to raise up your hand, my advice for you, just run away, leave that task for her, then come back later. By that time, everything will be calm.
Yeah.
That's what
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mrs. Mara Favor Lucky, for having me, the Prince of Comedy, in your show today. The kwilikwili crew is complete, and now thank you, my DJ, and everybody. You people have done wonderfully. I say thank you so much. So,
Thank you so much, the kwilikwili crew. I'm so grateful to have you here.